Hello, internet beings. Today I want to talk about a game that I got a few weeks ago called Gunfire Reborn. It is a first-person shooter roguelite. That's L-I-T-E, not L-I-K-E. The reason I want to make this distinction is because roguelite and roguelike are very similar. You start a playthrough, you play through till you die, and then you have to start over from the beginning. In roguelite, though, typically there is something that you will get from your previous run that carries over to your next run. In Gunfire's case, that is Soul Essence. I'll get into that in a minute. But in the playthroughs for this game, there are 3 different stages to complete at the moment. The first stage is the tombs, where you fight terracotta soldiers. It's typically some hallways with larger rooms that are completely enclosed. The second stage is the desert. You typically have open areas with lots of sand, some ruins type stuff. You fight bandits. The third and final stage that's out right now is the fjord. It looks like a port town, kind of. And the enemies there are fishmen. They're fish creatures. So, despite all of Bruce's efforts from Finding Nemo, fish are not friends. They are the enemy, and shoot them in the face. Each of these 3 stages have a boss room to complete before you can move on to the next one. Each boss room has a chance of spawning 2 separate bosses. The first boss you will encounter is Luwu, or as I like to call him, Monkey Fist. Once you defeat him 5 times, you'll unlock the second boss for that room, which is the Golem. And after that point, you'll have the chance to spawn either Luwu or the Golem. The second stage is the desert, and that boss, the first boss that you'll encounter there, is the Ichthyosaurus offspring, which I typically call the worm, because let's be honest, it's a giant worm, and I don't want to say the whole name every time. And once you defeat that one a couple times, same concept, you'll unlock the second boss for that room, and it will be the Wind God. For the third and final stage that's out right now, the first boss that you'll encounter is Yorohime Maru, which is a boat captain. But you actually fight the boat itself, not the captain. It's very misleading. But again, defeat that one a few times, and you'll unlock the Abyssal Serpent. That one actually looks like a Hydra. There are multiple serpent heads, but you don't actually get to see the body, so I can't even confirm if it actually is a Hydra. The more stages you complete, the more bosses you complete, you end up collecting soul essence to take with you. And the soul essence is actually used in the talent tree. And this is how you get stronger and for your next runs. So like there's things like max HP, max shield, extra weapon damage, stuff like that all through these. And there's some really cool ones too that are actually really nice to have. But not only are there regular talents, which is like from expedition all the way over to weapon, these trees are used across every hero that you have. So it doesn't matter if you end up switching heroes later on. But the ones that do matter, if you switch, are the hero talents. So the hero talents are specific to each hero, and there are 5 different heroes. Some of these are actually only good if you get a couple of these hero talents before you play them. Or, okay, I shouldn't really say that they're not good until you get them, but it's a lot easier to play them more efficiently if you get some of those hero talents first. But speaking of these heroes, this is the hero that you start on. His name is Crown Prince. He typically has like crowd control and specializes in elemental damage. I'll get more into the elemental stuff here in a little bit. The second hero that you'll unlock is King Yan. I think that's how you say it. I could be saying it completely wrong and not even know, but he's a bird. Typically short range to mid range. Likes to use shotguns. I mean, I'm sure he can use other weapons and stuff, but kind of likes shotguns. Well, it even says that. He also likes the smoke and sound of shotguns. Wow, okay. The second one that you'll unlock is Aobai. He specializes in explosions mainly. Like, it says that you can dual wield weapons and stuff, which, I mean, you can. So it's really good for, like, machine guns, shotguns, weapons that do a lot. I would not recommend sniper rifles for the dual wield. It's not very good. Speaking of sniper rifles, the last character that you can unlock that's like level locked is Lelo. Typically specializes in sniping or ranged combat. Honestly, from my experiences, has some of the highest damage count out of all of the heroes. But specializes in sniping. The last hero is Tao. She is a bunny. I typically refer to her as Bunny Waifu because, I mean, come on. She's kind of cute. But she specializes in like mid-range combat. She is very good with high rate of fire weapons. But back to Crown Prince. Like I said, he specializes in elemental damage, and there are actually 3 different types of elemental damage. There is corrosion, fire, and lightning. And each of these can apply like a status effect. So corrosion, like it says here, inflicts the decay effect. Fire is burning, and lightning is shock. With that being said, the effects that you can apply have a chance for fusion effects. I know that probably was a little confusing, but if one enemy has like a decay effect on it already from corrosion, and then something applies the burning effect, it will have the explosion fusion effect, which, well, it's like blast damage. But there's also burning and shock, which apply manipulation, kind of confuses the enemy. Sometimes they fight for you. And the last one that is actually so wonderful is, I'm pretty sure it's called miasma. Miasma. But it is decay and shock. And essentially, it stacks a lot of damage over time. But there are 2 other types of damage that are non-elemental. There's normal, which is essentially just the regular non-elemental stuff, and there's true damage. True damage is actually very rare. It's not found in a lot of places. Like, I think there's a couple weapons that have true damage, and I know there's a couple scrolls that you end up unlocking along the way that have true damage, like Giant Slayer. But you won't. You'll typically have normal damage on uh, most of the heroes. And also, a lot of these scrolls are um, locked by certain things. So some of them will be like completing bosses on different difficulties, or killing a certain amount of enemies, um, or killing a certain amount of a certain type of enemy, stuff like that. And speaking of difficulties, there are actually 10 different difficulties. I know that sounds like a lot, but it's actually really nice. It gives the game a lot of replay value. But there's normal, elite, nightmare, and reincarnation. And I know that's only 4, but in reincarnation, there are different levels of it. And it goes 1 through 7. I currently only have up to 5 unlocked. I'll be working on that. Through all of them, there are peddlers, which are NPCs that you can go and buy stuff at. Craftsmen, which you can use to upgrade your weapons that you pick up through the run. And then there's chests occasionally. The chests aren't always nice, but sometimes you'll get really good ones and be able to get scrolls and stuff out of them. Specifically in the reincarnation runs, you get 2 extra NPC types, which are the Phantom Peddler and the Spiritual Remnant. The Phantom Peddler is a lot like the regular peddler, except have the chance of buying for enhanced items. Instead of using the copper that you gather through the run, you use soul essence. Sometimes it's worth it, sometimes it's not. The Spiritual Remnant offers power-ups, I guess is a good way to put it. But like they'll have things for like your abilities that help make them better, or certain things like you can reroll stuff at the craftsman to help get a better weapon or better stuff on your weapon. The Spiritual Remnant can be found in the preparation rooms where you heal before you move on to the next stage, starting with the Waterfall room. Don't forget to check out what he has before moving on. Thank you everyone for watching. I hope this gave you a good idea of what to expect. If you want to connect and discuss anything about the game, I will have links to my Discord and Twitch below. There will be more Gunfire content coming out every week in preparation for the 1.0 patch that is expected to drop sometime mid-November. Thanks again, and I will see you all next time.